this clip of Rania Khalek, and maybe I just need to explain what the importance of it is. She, a month prior to the, Afghanistan withdrawal debacle, all the innocent people that got killed, not just by the, ISIS-K, but also by Biden. So you had that, the Afghanistan withdrawal. Rania Khalek is actually going to predict it. Now, you could go listen to the entire clip, but she's going to say, why she thinks that it was focused on Afghanistan and not Iraq. Because in her mind, Iraq is stable. If the U.S. government left Iraq, then Iraq would have stayed stable. They run their own thing. They don't need the U.S. military versus the Afghanistan government was completely propped up by the U.S. military. The moment the U.S. military left, the whole thing, house of cards, just came crumbling down. So Rania Khalek fucking predicted that shit. She pointed out an obvious thing, right? Not only would we leave Afghanistan, not only would we leave Iraq would be better and easier, and it wouldn't have, caused any fucking trouble whatsoever. So why didn't we leave Iraq? Why didn't the powers that be, or the lobbyists or whatever that, pushed for us to get out of Afghanistan, why didn't they push for us to get out of Iraq? She'll explain it, why she thinks, the elites allowed us to get out of Afghanistan but not out of Iraq. But she's absolutely correct in making the comparison that leave Afghanistan, you're going to, the house of cards is going to collapse, so therefore the government, the military is all propped up by U.S. military guns and money, so the moment that the military and the guns and the money leaves, the whole thing is going to collapse, whereas in Iraq, that's not the case. That's not the case. Stable government, stable society, and America, the U.S. troops can leave and it doesn't all just collapse. In fact, she says something like, you wouldn't even notice if they left, if they would have just, just kind of walked away. It was just like, oh, really? That's how things are working in Iraq. They're working that smoothly now. So why does she think that the empire, the war machine, was okay with Afghanistan, the withdrawal of Afghanistan, whereas the focus wasn't on Iraq?
Because it's a stable country with a functioning government that can work. It's not dependent on the U.S. to function. So I just don't understand why all of the effort went into urgency and, we have to leave Afghanistan immediately and now as soon as possible, instead of using that political capital on Iraq. I can only imagine it's because Afghanistan no longer has any relevance to U.S. empire. The U.S. doesn't really need to be in Afghanistan in terms of maintaining its hegemony, whereas it does need to be in Iraq to maintain its hegemony and to maintain imperialism and to maintain empire and to choke Iran and to continue to control the oil and to continue to stand in the way of a united Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, a united region.
So we need Iraq for hegemony, for empire, but we don't need Afghanistan. I don't know. Afghanistan is situated between China and Russia, right? It's pretty strategic, in terms of. But yeah, I think she was, right about Afghanistan, right about Iraq. So perhaps she's right about, the hegemony thing. Why are we going to get out of Afghanistan? The war machine wants more war. So we're gonna leave a war? It's almost like they just got tired and bored of it. Fuck. What are we doing here? We're not really accomplishing anything, are we? No, you haven't. Weird, you're coming around to my side, but it took you 20 years and I'm barely even fucking excited about it. I wonder if it was the branding, the Forever War branding. That's what Tony Blair said, so it's like, damn. When I heard that branding, I fucking repeated it a whole bunch of fucking times because I was like, yeah, shit, 20 fucking years, these are forever wars. So, what's your point? What is your point? I don't know. I think my point is something about California. California, here I come, right back where I started from. Open up that golden gate. California, here I come.